Hello, my name is Kyle Siren, Customer Risk Manager with Ardent Mill Solutions. Grain prices remain volatile with tight global stocks of corn, soybeans, and wheat. Recently, there has been growing talk of Russia potentially limiting exports of grains to combat food inflation. Brazil has seen rains pick up in major soybean growing areas after an extremely dry November. Chinese demand for agricultural goods remains at historic levels. That's a fair amount of risk to monitor, so without further ado, let's dive into the December edition of the Inside Scoop. The December WASDE report is typically the least significant report of the year. This year was no different. Changes to supply and demand were fairly minor. We did see the USDA increase their forecast on Chinese imports for corn and wheat. The USDA increased their forecast of Chinese imports by 3.5 million tons to bring their prediction to a whopping 16.5 million metric tons. This forecast is more than double the previous record. The U.S. has already sold China over 11 million metric tons of corn this marketing year. The market continues to talk about China potentially importing 20 to 25 million tons of corn from the U.S., Brazil, and Ukraine. Clearly, this is unusual and not something the market has seen in years past from China. In wheat, the USDA increased Chinese imports by 500,000 tons to bring their prediction to 8.5 million metric tons of wheat. So far this marketing year, which for wheat is now half over, the U.S. has sold 2 million metric tons of wheat to China. This is the highest seen in years. The Chinese are forecasted to import 100 million metric tons of soybeans, which is the same forecast as a month ago. The world grows a little over 360 million metric tons of soybeans. That means 1 in every 4 soybeans grown in the world this year gets on a boat headed to China. Do remember, more than half of the world's pigs live in China. Chinese demand for agricultural goods will continue to be something to monitor, not just this marketing year, but next marketing year as well. On December 9th, President Putin of Russia discussed potential action to combat food inflation. So far, the export tax on sunflowers and rapeseed increased to 30%. There has been no tax added onto Russian wheat exports. This chart shows Black Sea wheat futures the past few years, and they have been converted from dollars per metric ton to rubles per metric ton. With world wheat prices rallying and the ruble weakening, wheat prices are up significantly in Russia. This is very important to the world wheat market. As this graph shows, the USDA is forecasting Russian wheat exports to reach 40 million metric tons this marketing year. Russia is the number 1 exporter of wheat in the world. 40 million metric tons represents over 20% of all global wheat exports. In 2010, Russia banned wheat exports after a small crop. In 2012, they significantly curbed wheat exports after another small wheat crop was produced. This year, Russia saw its second largest wheat crop, but prices are still high due to high world wheat prices. The market has been concerned about these types of actions the past few years, but Russia has not significantly held back wheat exports at any time the past few years. We will see about this year. Next month, the USDA will share its quarterly stocks report, final 2020 U.S. grain production report, and 2021 winter wheat seedings. This is a significant amount of information that the market will get next month. We view this as an ending to the 2020 U.S. production year and a look as to what 2021 might bring. With tight global soybean stocks, farmer planting decisions will be more important to the market than the past few years. Higher grain prices give farmers more options of what to plant. We will look at this a month from now. If you have any questions about the grain markets and how they are affecting flour prices, please feel free to contact me. From all of us at Ardent Mill Solutions, we want to wish you and yours the happiest and safest holiday season.